Hey, Tony Gaston here. Just popping in real quick, waiting on my son. Takes a village. One of the other dads bringing him from school practice, and so we meet up at a little location to do the drop off and pick up. And I just got back in town from a meeting from about an hour away. But I wanted to touch on this because I was talking to some guys today at the meeting, and it came up about communicating with our wives. And one of the things that I always hear men talking about is communication, how they don't like to tell their wife stuff and communicate with her, and then I always hear women talk about that, how their man just is terrible at communication. Y'all gotta forgive me, a little mosquito in here. Got my window down with these lights on, so I'm gonna show them enough to be attractive. And I'm trying to keep the lights on so you can see me somewhat. Sun going down. But I want to share with you one of the things, and this for women who care to know. But one of the biggest reasons, and it's a lot of reasons, so I'm not speaking for every man and not going through every reason, but one of the biggest reasons that men don't communicate with their woman is because there's not a safe space. There's not a safe space of a no judgment zone where the woman just listens and hears the man, and where the woman puts the shoe on the other foot and listens to this man seeking to understand and not be understood. And so a lot of times, with men already being taught to shut up, big boys don't cry, suck it up, men are already raised to not express ourselves, to not say much. So when a man falls in love, he tries to open up and tries to express himself. But you can imagine if a man tries to express himself and then his woman just shoots down his idea immediately, or she cuts him off and she jumps in and just no, and she really don't want to hear where he coming from. That is so stupid. That is so stupid. What in the world? That is the dumbest idea. That's one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard. Did you stay up all night for that? And he kind of gets shut down. Or the woman go to prying too much and she asking too many questions about it, and then questioning his decision making. And it's a lot of times, if even from little girls, from 3 years old, 5 years old, a lot of time what you'll notice, if you can't see it in yourself, if you're a woman and you listen to this and you look at another woman, a lot of times you'll notice women know it all. You could go to my videos and read the comments and you'll see so many women who know it all. And so oftentimes it's like, for the woman, in a lot of cases, it's my way or the highway. Whereas a lot of times the man is, asking the woman, where you want to eat at? What you want to do, what we're going to do on this. But if you notice, a lot of kids, they lean to their mama for decisions. They go to their mama. Mama, can I do this? Mama, can I do that? Mama, can I do this? Because a mom who is comfortable in her marriage, in her relationship, or a woman, she becomes a shot caller. She have an opinion, about everything. And women, it has been said, and I don't know if it's scientifically true, but it's been said that women think with both sides of their brain, and that men only think with one side of our brain. But when you just look at the facts and you just look at people in general, you notice that a lot of women are more analytical, more outspoken in the sense of being also well-spoken, more articulate. I once read that the part of the brain that processes our speech is larger in a woman than it is in a man, meaning the part of the brain that we get our cognitive skills from. And that was kind of an explanation of why little girls talk so much better and so much faster than little boys. And that's what the article was trying to explain. I don't know if it's actually true or not, and for men, we can talk. We just have to have a safe space to develop it. So for me, YouTube, that's my space to where I develop my communication skills. I come on here and I'm just talking. I'm talking my head off. So now in my relationship, I over communicate. I talk too much. I bring up a conversation about something and I'm talking 3 hours. My wife ready for me to shut up and go to bed. But I've had a safe space online to articulate myself and express myself and get positive feedback for the most part. So when you look at it, most men don't have that. Most men don't have that space. Most men don't have that positive space where they can sit in. You gotta forgive me, I be looking, watching my surroundings, because I always got to be ready, just in case. And so most men don't have that opportunity where they can express themselves and they can have this safe space to just talk and articulate. And so what happens is a lot of times the woman will jump in, no, that's a bad idea. Let me tell you why that's a bad idea. See, this. And did you think about this? And did you think about that? Did you think about that? And sometimes it's very beneficial. Sometimes it's very beneficial, but at the same time, it also can stroke the ego. Because if a man say, you right, and he listened to his woman, and it was truly not a good idea, he listened to her. Being human, sometimes a woman can become egocentric, and it can go to her head. And sometimes as human, we abuse our ability, we take advantage of what we can and can't do. So it's just like with anything. It's kind of like anytime a person is in a position, humans typically get complacent and get comfortable, and they start to approach that position from a selfish place. One example I see with pro athletes. If I take a pro athlete a business idea that can make him millions of dollars, his financial advisor will tell him no, because it's not his idea. But his financial advisor will bring him an idea that he finna lose $1 million. But the financial advisor has won his trust, and now he abuses that power. And so that's what happens in a relationship. Oftentimes, we win the trust of our partner, and then we abuse it. And instead of being open-minded and instead of being unbiased, we start to just do things we start to veto things that don't serve us. So a woman could look and a man getting ready to make a business move, and this business move finna cost X amount of dollars. Well, the woman thinking about, she want her kitchen redone. Her kitchen redone costs $20,000, but the man about to invest $20,000 to buy a car, to put the car on Turo.com. The man looking at it like, okay, if I buy this Camry for $20,000 and I put it on Turo and I rent it out for $60 a day, if I'm coming home with $45 a day, 45 times 31, do the math. Okay, that might be whatever that is, $1,200. So now I'm making $1,200 a month. And as the prices go up, now I'm making more money. Now I got this money. Now I could take that money, and then I can leverage credit and get a second car, get a third car. Before you know it, now instead of $1,200, I got $3,600 a month coming in. The car's either already paid for or I'm paying $200 a month. So this is how a man mind think. A woman may look at that and say, no, that's too risky. No, that's too risky, because what if somebody wrecked the car? Oh, well, the company got insurance. Oh, you don't know if it's going to pay out. And what if somebody's smoking in it? And how you going to be dropping it off and picking it up? And the woman may present all of these obstacles when the man only sees opportunity. And so what happens is now his ingenuity, his idea that's going to help him add streams of income has been shot down because the woman is risk adverse. But yet all of this pressure is put on him to provide and to feed the family. So he says, I'm trying to earn more money so that I could get us in a better position. But anytime I say something, I bring something up, the woman's shooting it down. You're shooting it down, so I can't build and I can't do nothing because you keep shooting it down. And so now, after getting shot down, the man say, you know what, I just ain't gonna say nothing anymore. And now this where the rift come in, because now he may go and do something, may go make an investment, and the woman like, why you didn't talk to me? Why you didn't talk to me? Why you didn't tell me? And he like, well, I didn't tell you because I knew you'll say no. And then she like, well, okay, well, now we done lost the trust in our relationship. Now we ain't got no trust in our relationship. And so now she looking at it like we ain't got no trust in our relationship. And he looking at it, well, we been ain't had no trust in our relationship because you never want to trust me as a man. You never want to listen to me. You never want to let me call a shot. You treat me like I'm dumb. You treat me like I ain't got no sense. You treat me like I ain't got to this point in my life already. You treat me like I wasn't even good enough to get you. And so men will struggle with that. And so to the women out there who you married or you in a committed relationship and you want to change this communication, what you have to do is you got to be okay listening to your man without critiquing him. And you got to let him talk, and you got to ask him questions that fuel his fire. And you got to give him that safe space. And you got to allow him as a man to call a shot with your full support and let him see the natural consequences. Because one thing about men is we problem solvers. So if a man he gonna invest $20,000 and that car don't get rented, he gonna come up with another plan. And he's gonna be resourceful because he can't lose. So what he gonna do is when he go to work, he gonna talk around and he gonna find somebody who will rent his car for $50 a day. And they gonna be like, oh, well, my cousin need a car too. So when I get my situation straight, and I know I'm paying more, but my credit $400, so I'd rather pay you, my homeboy, instead of paying, the car lot X amount of dollars, and all that interest, and buying a car and have to pay all that interest over it, and then have to, if I can't pay it, then they got to repossess, and now my credit messed up. I'd rather give you $50 a day, and then when I can't pay it, I can let you know that I can't pay it, but I can let you know when my check coming. So I know I'm paying way more for this car than what I would be paying, but I'm supporting your business, and it's helping me. And unfortunately, it might be a dope boy that's renting the car for $50 a day, but the money coming in. And so it's $1,500. The wealth of the wicked stored up for the righteous. And so and that's just a loose example, not being literal, or could be being literal. But at this point now, he looking at it like, man, listen, $1,500 a month. So that's finna be $18,000 a year. So I'm finna make $18,000 this year. I done paid for the car. And then now I'm making another $18,000 next year. So this best case scenario. And then on the months it don't get booked, well, okay, cool. Well, the next time you don't really know this person that good, so you charging them $75 a day. And they might be making money hand over fist. They might be overcharging people on real estate, building stuff, but they don't have a green card. They don't have citizenship. So they can't go get a car because they don't have a social security number. So, okay, well, if you living under the table, you got to pay a little more. You see what I'm saying? So a man is a problem solver. So even when he make a bad business decision, he got to make that bad business decision to learn from it. But if the woman shuts everything down and he can't spread his wings and fly, he always going to be stressed and broke, busted, and disgusted. He got to have that wiggle room, that freedom to be able to make a decision to try to get out and make more money. And the woman had to be able to say, okay, I respect what you're trying to do. And here's the thing. If it's not taking you out of house and home, you know this man love you. You know this man faithful to you. You know this man will die for you. He will kill for you. He don't want to do nothing. He not trying to do anything that's going to mess y'all up. Everything he trying to do what's going to help y'all. What's going to take you to the next level. That's what he trying to do. So you got to realize that and understand that and be okay with that. And let him spread his wings. Let him get out there and try to make something happen and create this safe space, this no judgment zone so that he can hear from you He can listen to you. He can talk with you, but you not playing devil's advocate. You playing angel's advocate. You playing angel's advocate. So he feel encouraged with the conversation. And even if the idea is about to get scratched, it's done so in a way that you're not making him feel dumb. You're not talking down to him. You watching your tone, and you asking questions in a way that's kind of like an objective question. It's positioned differently. So instead of, what kind of idea is that? Really? That's what you want to do? Oh my goodness. I got to get you a business book. Instead of approaching it like that, you more like, okay, so now how do they handle insurance? Like if you get this car and somebody wrecks it, what do you do? Now he get to answer. Well, they got insurance, and I got a friend, he has a car on there. His car got wrecked, and the company paid him a check before his own insurance that was on the car paid the check. So this company stand behind what they do. Oh, okay. And so now what do you do? Like, say you don't want anybody to smoke in the car. What do you do? Well, you have a policy on there that says no smoking, and they will hold $200 so that if you get your car back and the person that smoked in the car, you could go in, log in, and click hold deposit, and that $200 come to you so that you could get your car fumigated. Okay, all right. Now, where are you going to keep the car? Because we don't have room in our driveway or at our apartment complex. So where are you going to keep the car? Oh, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a storage, because the way this thing going is so many people without a green card who renting these cars. There's so many people without credit who renting these cars. There's so many people who renting these cars. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and get a little storage for $60 a month. So that way, out of the $1,200 I'm making, I'm only paying $60 a month for the storage. So the rent is paying for the car. You see what I'm saying? So now his energy could answer your questions like that, versus if you come at him and make him feel this big and make him feel like he dumb. And so this is the thing, create that safe space. And by no means am I saying let a man just run you to the poorhouse. Use common sense. I'm not saying that. I'm never going to say anything that don't make sense. So if it don't make sense, you listening to me the wrong way. Because everything I'm about is about a win-win, is about victory, is about the next level. I'm not going to say anything that don't make sense. And so you got to understand understand I'm not saying let him come to you and say, hey, so what I was thinking is getting a home equity loan on our house and get like $250,000 and then going to the casino. And what I'm gonna do is, and now it's a man that done said this now. And see what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that 250 and I'm gonna get on the blackjack table, and I'm gonna just stay there, boom. Cause by the time I'm out of that 250, I guarantee you, cause I done looked at the numbers. I done looked at all the numbers. I did all this right here, right? Cause I've been gambling since I was 11 years old, shooting dice. And so I done looked at all the numbers. By the time I'm done with that 250,000, I'm gonna be done made us $1 million. Just like that, guarantee. Ain't no way it could fail. Now, if somebody come to you something like that right there, it don't have any purpose. It's not connected to anything. It's a harebrained idea. It's a get-rich-quick scheme. Absolutely not. But if it's finna be some work, it's finna be some diligence, he finna do his due diligence, he finna put his hand to the plow, he got a plan, he finna do right by this here thing, that's totally different. That's totally different. And in that case, that's when you want to be able to give a little bit of support. So, hey, this Tony Gaskins. Think on this. Evaluate yourself, as a woman. If you're a man listening to this could go the other way too. Same thing. Women need a safe space too. So most of this information, if you did not know, could be inverted. It could go both ways. So understand that right there. And what you have to do is you got to look at yourself and you got to see what you need to work on, because deep down you know what you need to work on. So if I evaluate myself right now and say, Tony, what do you need to work on in the area of communication? Okay, in listening, I need to be fully present. And when my wife is talking, even if she's talking about makeup or something that I could not care less about, I need to be fully present. I need to put my phone down. I need to listen to her. I need to ask questions. I need to engage in this conversation and learn about this makeup, which is how I know that her foundation is called Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which I'm not supposed to know that. But because I had to check myself and say, Tony, you got to be active in your listening, I know that her foundation is Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and I know that she got that tip from Kim Kardashian, because she know they gonna wear the absolute best makeup in the world. And so I know that because I had to be conscious about listening. And so, all right, lady got a Tesla and I opened the door with the remote. She out here acting like she got a Rolls Royce now. She said, let me show you this little trick with this door. Now the son waiting on his door to go up, the back door go up. But they feeling good, but they don't know how to act. But they got the door going up, but they feeling like they the Jetsons. And then that door come back down. That's the only reason why I wanted that Tesla truck, for that back door, the way that back door do. I love that. And so now listen to me. And now in talking, I have to talk and be less blunt. I gotta be with an even keel tone. I gotta be, now for me, it's not gonna really help me no kind of way, because my wife is extremely sensitive to any type of correction or disagreement. She is extremely sensitive to it just because of how she was raised with her dad. So it don't matter what I say or how I say it, she gon' get in her feelings. But if I say it respectfully, cool, calm, and collected from the heart, she gonna understand it and she gonna be 100% fine with it. She just the same thing. She don't want me to talk to her like she dumb. She don't want me to talk down to her. She don't want me to wait till I'm mad and then want to say something. So, hey, it's Tony Gassman. Just want to touch on that and just give you a prime example of how we got to be able to look in the mirror and evaluate ourselves in order for us to have some growth. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.